Hi, this is Hamsika, and welcome to Stories with Swansea Presents The Real Deal, where we discuss and dissect everyday situations that influence and shape our lives. Whether it's the unspoken impacts of generational trauma, challenging the expectations of society, or exploring practical ways to bring more peace, balance, and joy into our daily existence. We share stories and lived experiences that are raw, heartfelt, and will leave you with questions. So, if you're looking for a podcast that feels like chatting with a friend about the real, relatable parts of life, you have come to the right place. Let's cut through the noise and get straight to the matter with no filters and sugarcoating. Because this isn't a fictional deal, it is the real deal. Hey guys, welcome to the last episode of season 1, the Real Deal podcast. First of all, thank you so much for showing so much love for all the episodes. I have had a lot of you reach out to me, open up about your own struggles, and you have told me how the episodes were so relatable to whatever you went through. And most of you who reached out, you also had inhibitions about commenting the same on the post because you didn't want anyone else to know what you're going through or what you have gone through. I really appreciate it, and I'm very glad you found the courage to open up and also share and be vulnerable in a safe space to share whatever you're going through. And I'm glad I whatever I opened up about, whatever I spoke about, helped you in overcoming that hindrance that you had to talk about your experiences. So I'm extremely glad, I'm happy, and I'm very humbled by the response that I've received. So thank you so very much to everybody who messaged me, called me, and sent me a DM, and also to a few of you who commented as well. Thank you so very much. So in this last episode, I'm going to talk about my answers to your questions. I don't know how many of you remember, but I had put up a post on my Instagram asking if any of you have any questions to me which you would like answered. So some of you did respond back, so I'm going to answer your questions today. There were two or three questions which unfortunately I'm not able to answer it on camera. So I have answered you guys in person. And there was a few more questions which you asked, but you didn't want me to um, take your name while I'm answering the question. So I totally respect that. So I'm going to say it as anonymous. I'm going to answer your question as well. So, but thank you for everyone who replied back. These questions, I didn't, expect you to ask only about mental health or anything related to whatever we discuss in the podcast. It was literally a general question. So I've had like two or three fun questions as well. So I'm going to answer them all. So let's get started with the episode. Thanks, guys. So the first question I have today is from Ashwati, and she is asking me, how do you stay motivated? To be very honest, I cannot stay motivated all the time. I have my days where I'm very down, sometimes extremely down. I shut myself for a very long period. There have been days when I've been totally off social media for a very long time because, you plan to do something, something doesn't work out, and then you need to like just take a step back, relax, and then think about what you need to do next. And then there are times when you feel like you don't kind of need any external factors affecting your day, and you just want to switch off and just be on your own. So when I'm not so motivated, I switch off. But how do I stay motivated is because I probably have an extremely passionate heart. I'm very like if I have a goal, if I'm driven, I always make sure I put my 100%. I stay motivated because I want to give it my all. If I take up anything, it would always be my 100% that I'm giving it to whatever it might be. It might be something small, it might be something big, it might be something really big. Anything of it might be of any scale. But for me, I like to give it my 100%, and I keep reminding myself about the passion that I have for anything that is creative. So that is what keeps me motivated. The drive to achieve more, the drive to do something other than just a 9 to 5 job that I'm doing. Yeah, I think that kind of answered the question. So thank you, Ashwati, for your question. The next question is from Tiru. He's asking me, what is the secret of your success? This is the first time somebody has asked me a question like this. I remember I replied back to him as well that I'm surprised that somebody even asked me this question because I don't know, I never thought anything about, me being so successful in whatever I do. It's nice to see someone else acknowledging that bit, even when I myself didn't think about it. So thank you for your question. I really don't know what is the secret for my success because I never really thought I have actually, been successful in whatever I want to do. Yes, I've had a lot of wonderful opportunities, wonderful moments, but I've never really been someone who kind of um, boasts about whatever I've done. I like to share whatever I've done, but then I don't know how to say what is the secret. I guess as I answered Ashwati's question, I'm extremely passionate about whatever I'm doing. My interest lies in anything and everything that is creative. So it's not just one thing. I have passion. I'm like a passionate creative. Like I have multiple passions that I want to work on. It's not like one single stream that I have, but because I give it my 100%, because I also always think outside of the box. What is norm for others is not norm for me. My brain just probably functions in a different way. I don't know. I just always like to think and do something that not usually a lot of people would have done, or I'm not sure if they would have done, but I like to do something different all the time, regardless of whatever field it is. So probably that might amount for a bit of my success because I come with a new pair of eyes. The way I see things is very different. My perspective about things is very different. So maybe because of that, some of the things that I do or have done might stand out. Um, yeah, I think so. I'm not sure if that answered your question, but I really don't know. But I'm very happy to have been asked this question. So thank you so much, Theo. One of my friends, Naveen, says, so my question was, is there anything that you would like to ask me? So he says, anything and everything because you're special and I'm proud of you. So that's extremely sweet. So thank you so much. We have been friends since our school days. So it's almost a 30-year-old friendship. So I'm extremely happy to have a friend stay with me for a very long time. And he's always been someone who encourages whatever I do, who supports whatever I do. So thank you so much for that. And he wants to know anything and everything. For that, you need to listen to all my podcast episodes. Maybe season one, you might have already heard. Season two, whenever it comes, you have to listen to that. Most of the things you already know about me, but the little bit of things that I have not shared with anyone else that I'm sharing in my podcast, that I'm opening up in my podcast for the first time, you will be able to hear them and watch them whenever I release the episode. So thank you for your question, not question, but yeah, whatever you said. Thank you for your kind words. Um, Pratik had a similar question. He wanted to know everything, so it would probably be the same answer as well, Pratik. So thank you for your question and everything. I don't know if you will be able to know everything about me, but most of the things that I'm sharing in my podcast, yes, they're all a part of whatever has happened in my life so far. So today's the last episode of season one, but there's always season two where I'll be coming up with more guests and other nice elements to the show. So you will be able to know more about me then. The next question that I have is from Rakshit. He says, Nimma favorite school junior yaru, which translates to who is your favorite junior from school days? The answer is Rakshit. I also know why he asked this question. I'm actually not really in contact with a lot of my juniors. He's probably one of the very few. And he's also one of, like, not even one of he's also the only guy who calls me Akka. Akka in English translates to elder sister. So he treats me like an elder sister, and for me, that always makes me feel special. So, yes, you are my favorite school junior, and I am also extremely proud of everything that you have achieved so far. And I cannot wait to see you take part in Olympics one day. And I'm sure you're going to do it. So, you're doing absolutely amazing in whatever you're doing. So, thank you for your question, and I already knew that you know the answer, but I'm still answering. You are my favorite school junior. Hayden wants to know, what is it about fruit that you find so funny that you want to add them in your films? So I think Hayden, you've gotten confused between and one more person. So, so because I'm into short filmmaking, I worked with Hayden whenever we have done a few movies together. So some of the short movies that I was a part of, in the production team or in the assistant team, it revolved around fruits. So, but that was not my call. That was the director's call. I was just going with the flow. Um, I don't know. This question is probably best to be answered by Ajay, who is the director of those movies. But if I have to answer about short movies, I don't know. It's nice to keep in focus a fruit and revolve stories around them. Like in the end, people wouldn't even know it was end of it. It was all about the fruit. So maybe that was the whole point of having fruits as part of the short movies. So thank you for your question, Helen. Rashmi wants to know, why do you worry so much about what others think of you? Rashmi knows me from a few years now, and she has been a great support, like always. When I saw this question, I was actually thinking, why is it that I worry so much? Like I was trying to find an answer for this because I don't know. Right from the time that I was young, being in a very conservative society, it probably always mattered because you've seen your elders worry about the same. Um, and you've seen other people take decisions based on what someone else thinks. So you have grown up kind of pretty much in that atmosphere that for a very long period, when I was a child, I didn't know anything better because, when you're in an atmosphere where all you're seeing is the same pattern in the families around you, that kind of builds upon you as well. You kind of start thinking in the same way that they think. There's no like room for evolution because a first of all, you're like not allowed to go out or do stuff like that, and b, you yourself, you're scared to do anything out of the box, anything out of the norm. You don't even know that you can do anything out of the box. So for me, that's what I saw growing up, that everyone was caring about what others think. And when you are growing alongside a lot of people pleasers, you like tend to become a people pleaser. So you always put other people's needs ahead, like in front of you, and keep your needs to the last. So that's exactly how I was. I think to a lot of extent it has reduced now. I do not, after a point, in fact, I stopped caring about what other people think. Like even now when I'm doing my pageants and stuff, I have so many people say a lot of things on my face, a lot of nasty things, not so pleasant things on my face. So I have stopped caring. Like I don't worry. I'm not taking any decisions in my life anymore based on what other people think. But yes, there was a period when I used to think a lot because that people pleasing attitude was kind of inbuilt in me, and I've been doing I've been that for a very very long period in my life. It's only after my 30s that I started realizing a lot more things. Going forward, I think I feel like I will be better with handling these things, and I wouldn't even care about what anyone else thinks of me. So thank you for your question, Rashmi. I got asked this last question by a few people, but they didn't want me to reveal their names when I'm answering it. So I'm not going to. So I will say anonymous girls ask me this question. How do you handle heartbreaks and betrayal in friendships? So this I really don't know how to answer because it is not easy. to overcome something as deep as broken friendships or anything, for that matter. When you're heartbroken, it might not even be like a friendship. It might be any kind of heartbreak. Be it at work, be it at home, be it within your relationships or friendships. I find it extremely difficult to navigate through those emotions, because after a point you tend to move on, but then something or the other keeps pulling you back, and the emotion gets triggered. So I feel with these emotions, it's literally the time that will heal. Otherwise you cannot just, for me at least, I cannot switch off and switch on into a new mode immediately, because I've invested so much of my trust, so much of my love, so much of my emotions in a person. And when that gets broken, it's a huge setback, right? Like they would have been a part of your everyday life. So for that to not exist anymore, it's very heartbreaking. But then I guess that's where the growth happens. People, if they had to stay in your life, they would have 100% stayed. But if due to circumstances they are not a part of your life anymore, I guess that's exactly what the universe wants for you, honestly, because probably you're better off without those people, and probably those people are better off without you. You should never be someone who would be dragging another person down, and other people should never be someone dragging you down. So if that's what is happening in a friendship or a relationship, it is better to not be a part of it anymore. So if it is happening with a person that you never thought would happen, then it probably is happening for the good of both of you. So I take it in that way. It has been difficult initially with a few broken friendships that I've had, but over a period of time, both the parties will kind of move on and go ahead with whatever their other priorities in life are. So I guess that answered your question. But thank you, girls, for your question. Yeah, that's about all the questions that I've answered. As I said initially, there have been a few more questions which unfortunately I cannot answer it in front of the camera. So I have answered them all in person, but I really appreciate all of you who have asked me questions. So I would be coming back with season 2 in a few months. But thank you so much to everybody who has been listening and who have shown me so much support in the last few months. So the next podcast that's happening on my channel is Around the Galaxy, which is about pageantry. So I would highly recommend you give it a listen as well, so, as it's going to be very fun and as well empowering. So thank you so much again for all the support, guys. I'm truly grateful, and I'm truly, truly, truly humbled. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. It truly means a lot to me to know that there are supportive listeners out there who appreciate the sharing of relatable thoughts and experiences. If you liked and related to what you listened to today, let me know in the comments. And also, please support by following, rating, and sharing the podcast on Spotify and YouTube. The related links are all in the description. Let's have a chat again next week. Until then, please make sure to take care of yourself so you can take care of others.